I think we're the water people because our food sources, our clothing, almost everything that we use in our everyday life comes from water. I feel being an Aleut is special because I feel that we were chosen to live in one of the hardest places to live. We've learned to live with the environment and cooperating with each other. We've survived a long time.
Alaska has by far the longest coastline of any state in the U.S. The people of Nanwalek, like many Alaska natives, depend on the sea for their subsistence lifestyle.
We have no harbor here, so we bring our boats into the lagoon. Here's an old-timey skiff, homemade oars. Just about everyone in Nanwalek has a smokehouse where they hang and dry and smoke dried fish and salted fish. Here are craft items that we make here in Nanwalek using shells, driftwood to make masks, dolls, hats. These baskets here are made from fish skins, halibut and salmon, and from seal intestines. And these are dolls that Colony made from sea otter skin, seal. This is a sea lion skin. And we're gonna cook this for dinner tonight. And we gotta singe the fur off. It'll be boiled, straight boiled, chopped up, and eaten. It's very good.
On the Atlantic coast, New England's commercial fishing industry dates back to colonial times. New Bedford, Massachusetts, once the busiest whaling port, is still a major fishing center today.
During the 19th century, the world's largest whaling fleet filled New Bedford's harbor and supplied the whale oil that lit the lamps in American homes and oiled the machinery for the new nation's industrial revolution. In the 20th century, fishing boats replaced the triple-masted whalers as Newfoundland, Norwegian, and Portuguese fishermen made New Bedford the richest fishing port in America.
My great-uncle came here from Norway in 1905. My dad came here in 1938, and my uncle came here in 1939. When my uncle and my father came here, scalloping was already going on. They were scalloping in the spring and summer, and then in the winter they would be fin fishing, fluke and so forth.
I had two grandfathers that were fishermen, and then my dad was a fisherman. After that, he was a scalloper like myself, and he's the one that broke me in when I was 17.
Scallop fishermen presently use two 15-foot scallop dredges, each of which weighs over 2 tons, to harvest scallops. This is a very intensive way to catch scallops.
In '97, you'd fish 2 weeks, you'd come in for 5 days, and they'd be pushing you out on that 6th day. 258 days at sea, and you're talking 14, 15-hour days. We'd go 15 hours on and 9 hours off, all trip, a lot of hours.
In our fishery, we are limited to so many men. In the summer, we take what they call the shacker during the good months, and they would get half a pay or a quarter pay so they could learn.
My grandfather, Joseph Nicodemuson, he was a fisherman. He owned a small dragger, and he got my father into it when he was young. So after I graduated high school, he encouraged me to come fishing, and I've been here ever since.
Midway across the Pacific, over 2,000 miles from the continental U.S., the Hawaiian Islands are the most isolated population center on Earth. Yet, by the mid-19th century, trading ships connected Hawaii to places as distant as Massachusetts and Alaska.
I was born and raised on Molokai. This is Mo'ula waterfall. At one time this valley was filled with taro patches or lo'i and a flourishing community of thousands of people. But in the early 1900s a tidal wave wiped out most of the taro patches and most of the people here were forced to move away. That's Maui. My stepdad. That's Molokai behind us. And this is a very, very, very calm day. Here's my lobster in the pool we just caught. That right there is my octopus. I poked one of those myself.
Molokai is just Molokai and I love it because it's so beautiful. Yeah, and it's not crowded.
The ocean, she's our mother, she's our comforter, she's our provider.